Joe's not caught up, but he also doesn't care.
And that's fine. I know that like Baby Yoda has a name.
What's his name?
Tom.
Say it.
It's something weird.
Say his name, bitch.
I've never heard it.
It's Grogu.
Grogu? Okay.
Yeah.
It's Goldberg. I didn't know he was Jewish. Yeah, I had no idea that Yoda, that Baby Yoda was Jewish.
It's like Spaceballs.
I know. Shabbat Shalom, everybody.
Hey, all right. Hey. I'm doing terrible at being in our group of friends. Yeah.
No, I got Travis Kelce. He's my saving grace.
Nicely done. I'm dead last with Lance.
Oh, thank you very much.
Drink a drink.
No, I did not do well. This should be flat enough if you do want to set it up there. I'm working on an end table. So
Packers are playing
fine.
tonight, and that's my team.
I
you
thought
go,
you
buddy.
were a Chiefs fan.
I'll watch them, but yeah.
Oh
I'm more
my
of a-
God!
yeah.
Well, so, look at me, red in the face.
That's okay. Don't worry about it. It's cool.
No, my girlfriend's a huge Packers fan.
Okay,
but I
yeah.
have Aaron Rodgers on my team as
Oh.
my quarterback. He's been pretty. I mean, he's a damn good quarterback.
He is. Yeah.
Like that. Is this gonna be a sports podcast?
Absolutely not.
Podcast on sports.
I know, right?
Oh no.
Yeah, it's either going to be sports or Garth Brooks. Both things that I could talk about
Yeah.
but don't want to.
True. Ouch. But like seriously.
I had a bad experience.
So like Garth Brooks comes to town. He stays for like 3-4 days. Mm-hmm. What's he do during the day? The interviews, just like
Trisha Yearwood?
That's fair.
I mean, like, I assume a magician, a musician.
Yeah.
You work on songs, but I mean, like, there's only like so much
You can do. It's not like you run to Walmart and everyone freaks the fuck out. Oh my,
Yeah, it's true.
like you're just at the arena.
I've always wondered that. I've
You
always
know?
wondered if like I don't know anybody like famous. The only famous person that like I knew that like I talked to was
Joe.
Sean Johnson.
Oh, okay.
That was the only person, but that was before she became. Oh no, wait, that was when she became an Olympian.
Yeah.
She went to Valley High School.
Yeah, that's right.
It was like that year?
Yeah, like well, my sisters. So I had switched schools right before knowing Sean Johnson.
Okay.
But she went to Chow's Gymnastics, which is here in Des Moines. And so occasionally, like, I would be like, oh, what's up, Sean? She's not the nicest person
Right.
and everything like that.
Are
Are we recording?
I wouldn't worry about it. Sorry, Sean.
Yeah, no, yeah, just like not really the nicest person and everything like that. When my sisters did gymnastics, right? And both of them were really good. My sister got to that point in gymnastics where they, like you can, and I had no idea about this stuff in gymnastics, but there's a point because they're all levels, 1, 2, 3.
like black belt.
Yeah, much like black
Pretty
belt.
much.
Yeah, if you want to compare it to
Yeah.
that, and you get to a point where I think I want to say I can't remember. It's been so many years. My sister would know. You get to that point where it's the last level, and then you get the option to either go collegiate or Olympian.
Oh,
so you got to make the choice.
that's a heavy decision right there.
Yeah, and so my sister, she was good. I don't know if she was ever going to be, Olympic, but you get the choice. Which route do you want to go? Oh. And then she got to that point, and this is like while she was still in high school and everything like that, much like Sean Johnson.
Yeah,
she just chose the collegiate route because she knew okay, all roads come to an end at some point.
Yeah.
And she was like, I'm going to go the collegiate route. She had a full ride to Michigan and everything
Well, that's
like
good.
that.
Yeah.
But
No Wheaties boxes.
got hurt, and then and then the doctors were like, hey, you can keep doing. They were like, you can keep doing gymnastics. Like, we're not here to tell you you can or you can't. You can keep doing it, but if you break a bone, you're done. You're out. It's going to be a long recovery road.
Okay,
So,
man.
yeah, it was a tough day for her. I remember that. It was a really tough day for her, and took her a little bit to come to the realization. And then she's doing great now. Goes to Iowa and everything like
That's really
that.
cool.
So I think everything in a weird way, everything always works out. You just it takes you a while to look back. And
You never know it in the thick of everything, but yeah, that's true. Sean Johnson's dad went to Johnston and graduated a year after my dad did. So like 79.
Okay.
There. Yeah. So
No,
my
that's
dad's
pretty
like,
cool.
oh, I know her dad. Like, what? Weird. Like, not buddy, but he's like, yeah, I went to school with him. And then my brother he still works at KCCI.
Right.
And so, he was there right when everything was blowing up for her. And then, you got to have the hometown hero come do the interviews. And then he, in the hallway, like, hey, look what I meant. Like, fuck you. Like,
I was just like, I always wondered, since like I never really did, like I never went to Valley. I went to Waukee, so I did that switch and everything. I always wondered, like, she was still in school when the what Olympics was
It's
it?
like 08 or something, I want to say.
Might have been. Was it? No, it wasn't Russia.
a long
was it
time ago.
Beijing? It was Beijing.
Oh,
right?
yeah,
It was
yeah, that's
Beijing.
right.
It was the Beijing Olympics.
Good one.
And I think, I've always wondered if she came back to school, and like much like when you become engaged, your fiance just tries to show off the ring a little bit. It's just like, oh god,
These medals are breaking my neck, man.
yeah, it's like just like one of those like.
Look at that. Like, oh my god.
I always wanted to try to pull that off.
Right?
So they're like, oh, we get it, Sean.
Fine, okay, just donate one.
Like everybody knows. Everybody watches TV, especially back in 2008, probably.
I just wonder what that would be like. You're like a superstar, and then you come back home, and then it's like you're gonna get a dose of like Norm, you know.
Yeah, kind of going off what you talk about with Garth Brooks buying groceries.
Or something,
I
yeah.
assume that when you've reached that level of stardom,
Get someone else to do it, but yeah.
you get someone else
Yeah.
to do it, or there's like I don't know, I've been to California once, but like I just like assume like maybe Beverly Hills or something like that. There's a grocery store that everybody can go to, and it's just like it's like, hey, what's up? Like, hey, Leo, hey, Garth. You know, it's just like, hey, how are the kids? You know, and everything like that. Like, it's just normal conversations.
What up, Bob Barker? Okay, cool.
Or it's a rule like you don't make contact here at this. There's no Hy-Vees out there, but you don't make contact in this Hy-V. You don't make
Well,
eye contact.
it's interesting. It's almost like like if a regular person, a Joe Nobody, sorry, my bad. It's actually his last name. We try not to talk about it.
I changed it when I was very young.
But if you have a regular everyday non-celebrity that sees a celebrity, it's very one-sided. This person knows a lot about this person, and they don't know you at all, and it's a whole different dynamic.
Yeah.
But if you have all celebrities around, it's like everybody knows
Something.
so much about everybody in that area.
Yeah.
It's just got to be a weird, even if you don't know them.
Yeah.
You know them.
It's like,
and but it's both ways.
Kevin Hart's last special.
Yeah,
Newest special.
I didn't finish it, but
I watched it, and he says, like, it just blows my mind. Like, he's like, oh, my kids go to private school, which is expected, or like
for
when
sure.
you're at that level. It's like, yeah, but Terry Cruz's kids go there too, and we're doing like a PTO fundraiser, like all famous people.
Yeah.
And just
that
like,
was a good joke. That was a good joke.
yeah, that was a great premise, but still, like, you never know who you're going to school with. Like, oh no, my dad's Dave Grohl, it's cool. Or, yeah, my dad's so and so.
That's just how I assume the when you reach that level of fame, it's just like, oh yeah, this is what we do now. We have to go to these schools. We have to shop at these stores and everything like that. Because I'm sure if it's like, oh, can I get your autograph? I'm sure that happens all the time. Or like, hey, can I get a picture? It's just like, you gotta separate yourself.
Like,
from
I get
the
it.
real
Yeah.
world.
Yeah.
well, now
Saves you that.
I wonder if celebrities or the celebrities are the reason why things like DoorDash it started. And existed, so that way they didn't have to go places like you could have an assistant, or if somebody sees everything that's happening in LA or New York or wherever, and they don't want to go do it, so I'll just give you $6.
Go get me
on
a
top
caramel.
of this order.
Yeah.
Go take care of this,
could've
and then
been
it just kind of turned into a thing, and
That.
now I order it for my wife when she's teaching at the school, and I pay $17 for something from Noodles and Company.
Right.
Oh, nice. Great
I
place.
know.
Yeah.
It is.
Is that a sponsor on today's show?
Noodles and Company, Joe.
Let's give him a call. Let's see what we got.
We're here.
We're here.
We're doing a podcast.
We just got into it.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, this is the opposite of important. Thank you for coming back.
That's right.
Checking in, seeing how we're doing. Today we got Joe over
Yeah.
here. We got Lance over here.
True
and
story.
we got Mr. Shane McDonald
Heck yeah.
over here.
all right.
Everybody slow down. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good. It's great to see y'all. Happy holidays and
Yeah.
Merry Christmas.
You too.
And
Got through
soon
it.
to be Happy New Year's.
I know. Let's try again.
It's coming up.
yeah, right. Well, I mean, like we were talking before about the vaccine, and everything. Who knows? Who knows what's going to happen here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'll be fun to at least go to a movie sometime again. And just like,
It's funny that you say that because we were. You ever heard of the movie Freaky?
Yeah.
Oh, I want to see it. Vince Vaughn.
Oddly enough, McKenna and I got to do a whole bunch of work when I get home. I'll just paper. Anyway, I was like, what kind of movie do you want to watch tonight while I just work on stuff? And she was like, how about Freaky? And I was like, oh, okay. Turns out it costs $20 to rent anywhere.
Right.
But you can still, the Johnston movie theater, the AMC, you can go watch movies there.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that. So we might go do that one of these
Are
days.
the other ones not open?
I guess maybe it might just be from my location on my phone. When I type in my zip code, that might be the only one that's like available where I'm at. But who knows? I
thought there were a fair amount that were open, but then they were also offering that you could have like a private screening.
Yeah.
Probably because they're used to nobody showing up to watch a movie.
Yeah.
A few months back, I went and saw Tenet with my buddy and his dad, and it was pretty surreal being back in a theater, but it was like a blockbuster type movie.
Yeah.
So it was worth it, to go out and check it out.
Yeah.
But now that things are kind of simmering down a little bit, I mean, there's still this huge threat out there. So you want to be careful, but it seems like everybody knows what they're doing. Well, I mean, for the most, there's a lot of idiots out there that don't know how to handle things. But I feel like we're all smart people here. We can figure out, don't go and hang out in front of this person's face over here if you don't know them, and keep to your own space, and you should be fine going to see a movie.
For the amount of information that we know now compared to April.
Yeah.
We're doing okay. We're doing okay.
Exactly.
But yeah, I did the kind of private video thing for a movie thing for my nephew's birthday.
That's right. Yeah.
We rented out a theater.
What? You can do that?
Yeah, you can, for like $100. And then they have like
I was about to say, I'm like, damn, Joe, I didn't know you were rolling in Mr. Moneybags over there. I rented out a movie theater.
No big deal.
Yeah, what you guys do?
Yeah. It's just me.
Sorry, I don't speak poor.
And they had a whole long list of like you could watch a movie that's out in theaters now, or you could watch any Harry Potter movie. You could watch they had a whole long like damn they had a great
Well, I think
list.
that's something that you couldn't do, let's say 6-7 years ago.
No.
Before everything switched to digital.
Yeah.
Because I'm led to believe, I haven't worked at a movie theater in many, many years, but that you have the capability of just inserting USB or whatever and playing really any file that you want to. It's just that the movies now, all the professionally produced studio films, they have some sort of like code on them or time lock or something like that, so they can't be seen until a certain time. I don't know. This would be a good question for Christine.
That would be
because she worked there up until a few years back. So
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure if that's changed since then. But that's at least one of the theaters. I had a friend that worked there, Jared. I think he worked for the one in Pleasant Hill, and he said that you could play anything on there, but the movies that they were being sent that were new at the time, you just had to wait until a certain time for it to be able to play. It had some sort of time lock on it or
little
whatever.
kiosk kind of thing.
I don't know, or maybe I'm just remembering all of this wrong and I'm an idiot.
That's fair.
That's possible.
But yeah, it was weird, like because we got popcorn and I'm sitting there kind of taking a moment and like I haven't had movie theater popcorn for 9 months.
Wow.
That's nuts. Yeah,
you know,
I would have.
it's just like sitting there, just all right, taking it.
Yeah, concessions. I would have never thought that. Like, we're open. I would have thought the concession stands were closed.
Yeah,
you couldn't get anything.
They were offering like, hey, we can make a burger for you if you want. Like, okay.
Well, it was sounding like, and I believe we talked about this a little bit, that the money for the movie goes directly to the studio.
That's right.
So they're encouraging you to buy concessions
That
because
go
that's the
towards-
only way that they make their money.
Yeah.
But I get it, but I'm not sure that justifies a $7 popcorn.
Sure.
Never did.
But,
just saying. And I mean, those were the prices before the pandemic.
Well,
Yeah.
I was talking to my family over the holidays with because me and McKenna, we had just watched Soul. Have you seen that one yet?
I've heard good
haven't,
things.
but
Pretty good.
yeah.
Pretty good. Well, yeah.
It's on Disney, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
Disney Plus.
okay.
You can watch it. I think it's for like a limited time. Same with Wonder Woman, which we're
Yeah,
gonna
for
watch.
31 days.
Yep, 31
Yeah.
days.
Come
Oh,
on.
that's it.
Yeah.
And then it's off.
And then
Yep.
it's on, just ask the Russians.
Okay.
you know.
But they were
course.
I was reading an article about now they're with COVID, you got to adapt in any business climate that they're now just going to any movie that Warner Brother produces, they're just going to throw it on HBO Max because HBO Max is in partnership with Warner Brothers.
That makes sense.
So all those movies now, they're just going to skip the movie theater and go to HBO Max.
Nice.
And then they'll just cut out the middleman, which is the movie theater.
Yeah.
Well, AMC, the largest movie theater company in America, they don't like that.
No.
So now they're.
I heard about this.
Yeah, so they're fighting now. It's kind of hard to predict where it's going to go because with COVID, don't know.
Yeah.
And with the vaccine, it's hard to predict.
Here's the thing: if The Matrix just shows up on my 77-inch and not in the theater, I'm okay with that.
Yes,
that's
fine.
God. Yeah, buddy.
It is bizarro, man.
I'm gonna get those Sonos speakers mounted for that biatch.
There you go.
I realize that this is a McDonald's glass.
It is for you, man.
I gave you the Riddler, buddy.
Oh yeah. Oh, was this when the Batman Forever came out? Oh man, I remember
Robin,
that.
yeah.
And I cried when I got my Happy Meal toy because it wasn't the one that I wanted.
Which one did you want?
Fit. Oh, it was years ago. I just went through a fit because I didn't get the toy that I wanted. My dad was like, push up the glasses. Oh, really? Like one of those things. God damn it.
Yeah, I've had these for many a year, and they're my favorite thing to drink out of.
Yeah,
it's fantastic.
Not too bad.
Two-Face is upstairs. I didn't bring him downstairs. Son of a bitch. None of us are that mean. Harvey Dent.
But yeah, it's nuts to like. I don't know what next generation I want to like explain movies to. Of like, hey, no, we used to just show up and we had to like fight for seats, and now you reserve it, and we just had popcorn and pop. We didn't have burgers. We didn't have candy was in there, of course, but like, I mean, our theater uptown here is still like that, where you just pick a seat, and just like. You have the stale popcorn and pop. So they keep it relatively traditional. I know. Yeah. It's just like bizarre that like when everything changed, it was just a different thing of like, I felt that it catered towards the late crowd because I'm like, I'm going to show up early. I'm going to get a good spot. I don't want to be on the side.
To an extent, it did cater to them. But if you were used to being on top of your movie game, then you now know as soon as they go on sale, snatch them up. Because like that was the thing like, with episode 9.
Yes.
The tickets actually ended up going on sale like 15 minutes earlier than what they were supposed to. And I just so happened to, I knew that this had happened in the past because people suck at their jobs. so I just kept refreshing it like every, 2 minutes or something like that. And lo and behold, there it popped up. So I was able to get center of the center in the movie theater. The best place to sit, man.
That gets a little bit tough because it's like a month in advance. And then you have to like keep it on your phone for a while. And then it gets like, I get a text message from you like, these are our seats. I suggest you find yours maybe next to. I'm like, shit, okay, I gotta sit there
and hope that they're still there. But as the great Joe Pesci would say, that's how they fuck you though, is because now they get to charge you the service fee, which is for nothing. Yeah. And I love having this conversation with people. There's a service fee for everything.
Like look in the fine print of like Ticketmaster or movie. Like if you go in person, usually you can like bypass it. But typically if it's on, usually.
It's like the way they explain it is that it's a fee for them to push buttons. That's what it is. Or the lovely phrase convenience fee.
Yes.
Yeah.
How convenient is it for
exactly. If you ever in the near future get anything through Ticketmaster or StubHub or anything like that, look up their service or convenience fee.
Okay, because the last time I did it was the Chicago Bears game. I think last year before there was no you couldn't go to the games. I was just fed up with StubHub because I didn't know that they have like a 2-party system where you could go on there and sell the tickets. I thought you just went on there and bought tickets. I didn't know. Right? I didn't know that. And I wonder if I still have the receipt for it. I'm gonna look that up. But it was just so much of a hassle. I'm like, I'm never doing this again. I'm never doing this again. Yeah, I was just like, I had to like call someone, and it was so dumb. I'm just like, nah, I'm done. I'm done with this.
Like now watch on TV.
Yeah. I mean, when it comes to movies, I want to say it's only like $1 or $1.50, but when your ticket's only supposed to be like $7 or $8, that's substantial, especially if you're going to go and see a bunch of movies.
Yeah.
So they fuck you.
Right.
That's the way it is. They fuck you. The bots fuck you.
basically
you're always getting fucked.
Right.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's great. Well, the Foo Fighters, when
Yeah.
they did one of, what was it Sonic Highways? The tour that they did this thing called Beat the Bots before the show. So if you went to the venue where the concert was going to be, then you could get up to 2 tickets just right then and there. And they did that before they went on sale online. So you're beating the bots.
Yeah.
Because that's what everybody runs into for anything that happens. There's all these bots out there or assholes that are running them that snatch up all of these tickets and then immediately put them on StubHub.
Yeah.
For
too much.
At least double.
Yeah.
What the price is.
Yeah, with the PS5. You know?
Yeah,
I didn't think about that until now. The PS5.
Same fucking principle.
Yeah.
And it's just gotten out of hand. So they tried to do this thing, which is admirable and great. But I go to see a lot of concerts in Minneapolis, St. Paul, because it's one of the biggest metros besides Des Moines, and a lot of people don't come to Des Moines. But I'm not going to fucking drive 3 hours just to go and pick up tickets. And there was no way around it. You couldn't call in to do it. You couldn't do anything. So
oh my gosh.
it's like, it's cool, but
thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
nuts.
what, and they know that a lot of people, that was just the downfall of that situation, is that there's a lot of people that drive a decent ways to go and see a big concert. And so we were kind of left out.
Yeah. I watched like a documentary, I forget what it was called, but it's basically kind of that topic of the breakdown of like bots, and this is how the bots work. And then it's like, here's why you think you're going to get good tickets, but you're really not.
Right.
I mean, you typically do, you know, but they're like, okay, so you got a big venue, but then tickets go on sale. But if you factor in like the first 5 rows, there's usually concert promoters. There's the, you know, that they get their share of tickets to the radio shows that are always selling out tickets. So automatically the first 5 rows are like taken up, you know, and then the bots take up kind of like more of that. So it's like you really only get like the sides and back unless you get lucky and you know someone or something like that. But it's like, wow, this is concert. This is going to concert. Like, I don't know. I miss the old days, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with that. Yeah, because I mean, I like going I like going to concerts. They're a fun experience, but yeah, I never thought about it like that. That's like, oh yeah, well you gotta reserve all of these for that. But I'm also the kind of guy now that I'm just like, I just want to go sit down and watch and everything like that. Yeah, I don't want to stand all the way down there.
It's not the same. I remember I got fooled a couple times into thinking that I wanted to be on the floor for concerts. One of them was a Green Day concert, but then I ended up being with some people that were too short to see. And I'm not incredibly tall. I'm no Shane McDonald.
Right.
But
not everybody can be.
That's fair. So you kind of luck out in that department that you can see over a majority of people. But I'm kind of, I'm average with everybody else. And it can be, if you're not in a venue that is at an incline, you know, as you go further back, you're going to be missing stuff. And that kind of sucks. So there's being too short. There's the obstacles of being able to get in and out. If you have to go to the bathroom or something like that.
That was going to be my big thing. I like being able to leave and know there's a spot.
Exactly.
My spot, right.
It's like, I need more beer. I'm like, that's not happening.
Exactly. Another reason why.
But, I mean, you go to you know, shows that aren't in a big concert venue, but more what do you call it?
Intimate.
Like the Civic Center where there's actually a seat, not like a mosh pit.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know? That's it's worth it. But yeah.
For sure. Well, I know I'm talking to the right group here when I bring up this concert that I went to. So I saw Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
At
1,000 times.
At the US Bank Stadium.
Yeah. The most recent.
And those, first of all, the prices for these tickets were insane, but this was her big stadium tour.
Oh, my girlfriend loves Taylor Swift.
Reputation.
Already listened to her new album like 15 times.
Evermore?
So,
yeah.
Yep. So
my daughter's got it on repeat constantly.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. I don't mind.
I know your pain.
It's good. It's good. There's nothing wrong with it. But the concert, she did this big stadium tour. The seats that we ended up with, I want to say, were just over $500 a piece. And we were in what most places would consider the 100 section. So we were up on the side a little bit.
Yeah.
But what was cool about where we were, and I don't know if it did this all the way around in US Bank Stadium, but the section that we were in, it was fairly close to this. So you've got, and this is a visual for anybody that's listening.
Stage.
Yeah. So you've got kind of the bowl in the middle, and you're in this oval. So the stage was here, and we were kind of like right here. And in that section, you had your own separate concession area, and it was just like, I want to say 15 rows behind us. So you got your own concessions, your own bathrooms that nobody outside of that area can go into.
Okay.
So they were smart. And I don't know if all new stadiums are doing it that way.
Kind of like Iowa State, a little bit.
Yeah, it was
the South End zone.
It was really nice.
Yeah.
Well, because a lot of the stadiums I've been into in the past, it's like if you see a long line at this bathroom, you just keep walking around and you'll find another one. But they physically could not get into this section without a ticket for that section.
Yeah.
So that was quite nice.
It's like nice.
What wasn't nice is when I went and bought a beer for me, a beer for my friend, and a soda for my daughter, and I get it down there, and immediately my daughter spills her soda. And well, there goes $8
for a sec. Okay, there we go.
Yeah, so $8 for it. And I want to say the beers were, I could be wrong, but 12, I don't think 15. I'm wrong. I was going to say 12 or 13 bucks.
Yeah.
How big
for a can. It was a tall boy.
Tall boy? Oh, geez. Okay.
Yeah.
It's okay.
And I want to say it was something like a Summit or something. Maybe since it was Minnesota, maybe it was a Surly or something. Yeah.
My God. Like, how do they rip you? And
Yeah.
you pay for it.
So
You're paying for the service.
Yeah.
that particular concert, if you wanted to be down on the floor in front of the stage, $1,000 a ticket.
What?
If you wanted to be within the first, I want to say 5 or 6 rows of the stage, $1,500 a ticket.
And my girlfriend would have done it in a heartbeat.
I mean,
without thinking
if
about
I
it,
had
she'd
the
be like,
money,
did
I
do
would
that?
have.
Oh, my God.
I'm sorry.
Looks like I'm going to have to be there.
If I could have afforded it at the time, I would have done it for my daughter because
Right.
she would have loved it. Because the last concert before that, was it the last one? Was 1989 before that? I feel like I should ask you this question.
I'm not going to know.
So whatever concert for 1989, I was in the first 3 rows for that one, but my daughter was too young to really know and appreciate it. And the tickets were not that expensive.
Like, oh my God.
Well, at least your daughter doesn't do what my girlfriend does, where she goes like, "Have you listened to the album yet?" I'm like, "No."
And she's like,
"Well, listen to it. And tell me what your favorite song is. Give me 3." And I'm like, God, I didn't know I was going to get homework.
Like, God, she's gonna play 2 from the album, and then the rest are gonna be hits because that's what
Then of course, like I'll like listen to like the first like 10 seconds to like like listen to the lyrics. So like at least like when she asked me, like, "Oh yeah, like that that one lyric, yeah, I really like." She was like, "Well, how'd you feel?" I'm like,
oh, geez.
God, Jesus Christ.
All right.
We are really trying to dig this lie.
Just tell her it's Willow because that's the first one on there.
Yeah,
and it's got a nice music video, and she'll be like, "Oh, you like it?
Oh,
that's so nice."
Yeah, okay.
Did you tell her you got to calm down?
You need to calm down.
You need to calm down. It's like,
You're being too loud, McDonald.
Yeah. Oh, God,
we heard you.
Hey, at least your daughter doesn't do that.
That's fair. No, it is funny though because she knows the first part of the album so much better than the second part of the album because she listens to it primarily when she's going to sleep. So, so she knows the earlier tracks so well and the rest not so much. So the other day we were heading out to my wife's family's farm for some Christmas stuff. And the kids were arguing between listening to Christmas music and Evermore. So I went into fun Christmas classics and Evermore and did every other song. So that way it was pleasing everyone.
Just like,
yeah.
That's a good idea. Like,
I'm the best dad ever.
Not too one-sided, Mm-hmm. Unless, we had the radio.
I tell my girlfriend, did you bring your headphones?
Yeah,
that's immediately the first question. I go, we're not leaving this parking lot until you do.
Okay.
Shane says, I need to listen to The Opposite of Important on Spotify.
Well, that's what I keep telling her.
I gotta catch
I'm like,
up.
honey, come on, it's so good.
Yeah.
I go, I'm
better
five,
than
I'm 5
Taylor
episodes
Swift.
behind, and I gotta go in this Sunday. You know how important this is.
See,
right?
I gotta do my homework.
Don't give me that look.
I can't look like an idiot showing up.
Right? No.
They're going to be like,
you come with me and you tell Joe and Lance that you're sorry, all right? Because that's what I'm going to have to do.
It was nice. Shane and McKenna and Cody came out to Time Out last weekend, right?
Yep, last weekend.
Yeah,
Right
and I made sure to send him a message afterwards thanking him and saying that the night was a little less shitty than because they were there.
Yeah, that makes all the
Joe
difference.
is well aware of how much I don't enjoy being there, especially right now. So it was nice having some familiar faces there. Shane is quite the entertainer when it comes to karaoke.
Oh, boy.
Okay, I was about to say, I'm like, well, I do stand up.
No, there is that. There is that.
That'd be great, wouldn't it? It's like, we're going to take a break from karaoke to hear some jokes.
I believe it was I Believe in a Thing Called Love by The Darkness.
Yeah, my God.
And he did some crowd work.
It
was quite good.
Oh, yeah, I did do crowd work. I drank a little bit.
Hey, where you from? All right. You from here?
Yeah.
Cool. I'd be terrible at that.
I don't know if you heard me, and with the consumption of alcohol as the night progressed, I'm sure it's possible that you didn't notice. But as you were leaving, I faded down whoever was singing at the time, and I said, "No, don't go."
Oh,
out the door.
maybe I don't remember. Oh God, I don't remember. I might have drank a little too much.
Whenever I'm working, whatever it is that I need to say to my friends is more important than anybody that's on stage.
Right.
Just so you know.
You just cut the power and be like, "Hey, what you doing tomorrow?"
If there was something a button I could push or a cord I can unplug, so it just powers down all the lights on the stage.
See you, bro.
Sorry, Jenny. Here you go.
Here's your Shania Twain back.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Oh man, no, that was really nice having you guys come out.
Oh no, yeah, Cody was like,
come out and support the bar, and that was really cool.
Oh yeah, anytime, man, anytime.
I'm
That's
considering maybe, I don't know what New Year's Eve looks like, but I'm like, you know what? I haven't, every New Year's Eve I've been to Time Out.
Be careful what you say because I'm going to hold you to it.
I have no idea what we're doing. Like,
well, he hasn't been to a bar in a long time.
Yeah, I mean, we kind of went
because not only pandemic, but cancer.
Yeah,
so he didn't really know what he could do or whatever. How. I mean,
I feel a little more safe now.
Yeah,
as
you should.
I don't love crowds. I mean, like in regular times, absolutely.
Yeah.
But as far as my condition and COVID, I'm like, I'll keep it tight. Yeah. I'll keep it tight, you know. Yeah. So if I hang out in the corner, but it's like a weird. I don't know. It's kind of want to try to keep the normalcy because like whenever Time Out opened, it's like I've just been there for New Year's Eve every single year.
Well, this is the year, man. This is the
year. I was there last year and. Things didn't work out so well for me. You know?
Well, you're fairly safe if you're hanging out with me behind the thing for the most part. But exactly. But then we will make sure that that the seas part for us. If there happens to be a sea of people, so that way we can make our way up to the stage to sing our classics.
That's the hard part. Is like if I'm hanging with you and I need to go get a drink, I don't want to have people assume. You know, because what you're doing is turning people away. You're like, no, just text the number.
Right.
So if I'm sitting there and they're thinking, oh, that guy's going up there, and it's like, I don't want to like.
Well, you need to do that thing that you told me earlier. You just keep your head down.
Yeah.
Don't let anybody see you.
No.
Ooh, this is mysterious, man.
Nothing to see here. Weird. I sang a couple songs last night. It went all right. We had a decent crowd. Not too dangerous, not that many people, but there was a couple small parties there, and it was a nice, comfortable turnout. I didn't feel like I was in danger of that many people coming up to me, and it's weird because you've got a specific area that I want people to come up and talk, but sometimes people end up wanting to come over here, and I'm like, no, over here. This is where we talk now. Stand in front of the glass.
Yeah,
it's fine.
It's weird. It's so weird how we've adapted and like how weird it was to have like a piece of plastic between people. Yeah. And it's kind of, you're not like used to it.
Yeah, and it is feeling more, especially with the crowd that we had last night. It's not like all of them were wearing their masks all the time when they were out and about. And a lot of them were at their table, so they weren't mingling with other people that were in there. So, and theoretically, you're supposed to be safer as long as you stay at your table and whatever. But it felt like people were kind of settling in to it a little bit more as opposed to where it was even 3 weeks ago or 2 months ago when people would go out and not know how to act.
Yeah.
And it felt like people that were there knew what they needed to do and knew how to be safe and were being fairly responsible about it. Yeah. And kind of just, settling in and adapting to the new lifestyle, at least for now. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was comforting.
Good.
As opposed to, and I don't know how much of it was in my head in the past, but I feel like it wasn't. I feel like people were fucking stupid.
Yes.
But
you tell me that.
Yeah. And it just, there was times that, like you said, I didn't even want to leave my booth.
Yeah.
Because people were getting incredibly drunk, which you do at a bar.
At a bar? What?
Yeah.
Get out of here.
But then it was like 2019 again.
Yeah.
And nobody paid attention to anything. But last night there was plenty of drinking. There was plenty of drunk people, but it felt like they were sticking to the rules, which was nice.
Yeah.
And so I hope it continues down that path.
Yeah. It'll be weird. I was telling my parents, I'm like, it'll be interesting to get to that point again where we can kind of openly go without a mask. And that's just going to be a weird,
nuts. That's going to be, I think that's going to be a stranger transition than getting to wear the masks. Uh-huh. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I feel like there's going to be a bit more fear there.
True.
And like immediate fear as opposed to people trying to figure out if this shit's real or not.
Or they may be a little more cautious. Like, I'm going to stick with the mask even though they say it's okay or whatever it might be.
I can see that. I just remember at the beginning it was like, oh, I forgot my mask. Yeah. Now it's more like, it's like, you don't have a mask? Like, I got you. Man.
Yeah.
My dad said he made it all the way through Hy-Vee to like dairy or like deep into Hy-Vee. And he just was like, didn't even think about it and just pushing the cart around. And he's like, I'm not wearing a mask.
I had one of those going into a come and go. Like, I just had to go to the bathroom and everything like that. I was more focused on I was like, I got to go to the bathroom. And then I just walked into the come and go. No one said anything to me. Which I was just like, okay, well, I'm going. Boop. And then I walked out. I'm like, oh, I don't have my mask.
Like,
and then,
certain places will say something and then other ones not. I remember at least one time I went to Ames and I forget where I was going, but I knew I needed a mask. And I also knew I did not bring a mask. Great. So I told who was I with? My son or my daughter? I think I was with Sam. And I said, buddy, we're going to stop by Best Buy.
Because they can, they always have a mask.
Because they give you a mask as soon as you go in. And he was like, what do we need? Nothing. But we're going to walk in, walk around, and come back out. So then I had the mask for where I was going. Because I knew where I was going. They required it. Yeah. They were sticklers about it. And they did not offer it. Yeah.
Be like, it's a Bluetooth mask.
Exactly.
You can put the buds in. Yeah. It comes from Best Buy.
Like, I only got yelled at once for not wearing a mask. And that was at a gym, which I thought that was kind of dumb.
Yeah.
Okay. The Planet Fitness that I go to, as soon as so in the mall you're supposed to have it, but nobody enforces it, and they say that you're supposed to have it in the gym, but everybody that's working there, it's up to them. Okay. Like they have the signage up, but they don't enforce anything. Mm-hmm. I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah. You're working out. You're huffing and puffing a little more.
I don't know. I'm really.
I was on the. I was on the treadmill, and I was about mile 6 in, and I mean, I've been kind of relaxing. I mean, this was a little bit ago. It's about a month ago.
Yeah.
Kind of stopped with coming back and everything like that. But I was wrapping up on mile 6, and how I had been running was I had the mask like right here,
so you could at least breathe
out my nose, and it was one of those form-fitting masks.
Oh, sure.
So I could have a ventilator, so I could still, or a vent, I could still breathe through my mouth and my nose, because I don't know if you guys ever ran for that long.
Yeah,
you get winded. You want to be able to breathe. Everything
then,
like that.
You put a sock over your mouth.
I at the time, I don't know about now. It's been a little bit, but at the time, I could run about 1 or 2 miles. Mask on, no problem.
Really?
Yeah, no problem. I could just run. I could just run that, and impressive. No big deal. Then now, once mile 3 hits, it's like, all right, I need to pull it down just a little bit. And this woman, she was on the prowl at the gym, just looking for people with masks down. And then she just went like, huh. And I was like, got it, my bad.
All right.
Mind you, there's 3 other people around me that don't have masks on.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, hold on a second.
Come on. It's like, I'm trying. Give me partial credit.
Yeah, it was.
Come on.
It's the only time I've ever been yelled at, but I was like, get out of town. It's a gym. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, you're lifting weights, you're running, you're doing all these, like, you're doing extraneous workouts. Like, you're going to want to breathe.
Yeah.
All right? That's
I
just
get
my
it.
thing. You're going to want to breathe.
Yeah. It's not like just strolling around the mall.
Let it be known, Planet Fitness doesn't give a fuck once you're in there.
Might have to get a membership there.
Yeah.
Yes.
And well, I mean, you might get some dirty looks from the people that are wearing their masks. I see that happen from time, they'll pass by you or whatever. And I don't know. I wear mine for the most part, but when it comes to like an elliptical or bike or running or whatever, that's what I do
Is someone yelling at you while they're eating the free pizza? Hey, buddy. Hey.
No.
I've
Put that mask up.
I've heard of the pizza days, but I've never been there for it.
Pizza days.
And there's
pizza
like
and
it's like
donut.
At a gym?
one. Yeah.
Well, it's a judgment-free zone.
Unless you happen to grunt while you're lifting weights, and in which case an alarm goes off.
Yeah, what is that called?
The lunk alarm.
Lunk alarm.
It's the dumbest fucking thing I've ever heard of.
I've seen YouTube videos of that where people just like, hey, let's try and set it off. And they set it off.
Does it work?
And then, they have like the people come over and you need to get out of the gym right now. Like, Jesus Christ.
I don't know. What is it? Is it like a decibel meter?
Maybe. I don't know.
I don't understand.
There's like a light that goes off and there's like a siren that goes off.
I don't understand how you could, because like I don't know if you squat, deadlift at all or something like that.
Yeah.
Right, and then you drop a weight. Like,
sometimes like I've dropped the weights a little bit because I'm just like, that was really heavy. I got to drop this and everything.
In kind of adjacent to that area, they have the Smith machines. And you can, if it's too heavy, it'll slam down and make a loud noise. And I've been surprised. I don't know how loud it needs to be.
I've done
or
that.
who's in charge of that.
When you don't lock it or you unlock it and you're like, okay, time to do this. And then it's locked and you push all your force and you make the loudest noise. That's embarrassing. I will say that. I've done that. That is embarrassing.
Safety's on.
But
sorry.
I mean, it's kind of part of working out. There's a lot of things about that place that I fucking can't stand. But what got me in there was the price.
Yeah.
Because I want to say I pay $24 a month for the black card. It was a deal when they were first opening. And I can take a guest with me literally every time.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right,
and I have access to the spa areas. I can do the massaging tables and all of that. And it's great. But the lunk alarm is fucking stupid. Their lack of dedication to their rules is fucking stupid. They've got rules that are kind of scattered on the walls. You're not supposed to be able to wear jeans because it's intimidating to others in the gym. I believe that's the wording that it says. You can't wear jeans.
It's like Chuck Norris rolls in, like, oh no.
And I mean, I've been in a scenario in which I would like to stop by the gym and do something. And here's the thing: I wear these jeans that they're like stretchy.
Yeah.
They're not actual denim. They look like denim, but I can be very bendy in these, Joe.
And they're
I did know some guys way back in the day and everything like that. They'd be like, hey, I'm about to go on a date really quick. I'm gonna go to the gym and get a pump on real quick. And so they would be like in like nice like date clothes.
Yeah.
They'd be like in nice clothes. Like
they want to get all swole
and they're like
for their
they had
date.
slacks and a button up and been like, okay, I gotta get a couple pumps in and like that. I always thought that was dumb and everything. I'm like, what the hell is that?
He's trying.
Yeah. I'm like, you're already big, dude. Why you need to look bigger and everything like that? I think you're already getting the point across that you work out.
Right. It's like, you can quit. You got it there.
I don't know.
It's all maintenance.
It's been a minute since I've been in there, and I saw the charge come through a few days ago, and I don't know, man. I like every day I can feel myself getting fatter. It sucks.
Yeah.
And the holidays don't help. And my insatiable love for pizza certainly does not help.
Well, let me know one of those Mondays. One of those Monday pizzas, I'll probably get a membership. But no, I understand the feeling completely because, like, I got back from Georgia. We're on extended hours at work. So I'm working 50 hours Monday through Friday.
Wow.
And then I've got to get ready to leave again at the same time.
Yeah.
I got no time. So
yeah.
I'm just going to wait till I'm over there to go work out and everything
do it.
like
Yeah.
that. Yeah, I'm going to wait till it's nothing. I live and breathe what I'm doing over there and then I'll go work out. So right now, I'm just going to do what I needed to do and then I'll worry about that.
Well, here soon outside of this room, I'm going to have a new bike out there, an exercise bike that I'm hoping that I'll be able to hit up on a more regular basis. And that's not going to do much for the muscles, but hopefully over time it'll
slim it down.
Do quite a bit for my fat midsection. So,
Samesies, man.
Yeah.
I got stents in my kidneys, and so if I work out too much, and I start peeing blood. So I got to be
that's not great.
It's not great, but cancer's a bitch. Too.
Damn, I wish I had that excuse. Oh God, I got to stop working out. Oh man, I'm really peeing blood over here.
That's what it is.
I know.
It's too much.
Last appointment I went on, they weighed me, and they're like, "Yeah, you're 185." I'm like, no, I don't want to be. The weight I like being at is 170. So I surpassed that, and then I'm like, I got to back this off somehow. Like,
there you go. There you go.
So I got some motivation, I guess. I don't know.
You know what we should do?
Take a break. Oh,
that was the wrong button. We should take a break.
There we go.
It's like an awkward. I got to turn.
He's taking a break. Checking. I don't know. Can we work that in? Santa
Sure.
Claus?
I mean, he's taking a break.
Checking
Making it longer.
No.
Felt like you just want to get in. He's taking a break. Then you just start going into the Christmas song.
Yeah.
Then you just start singing the rest of the Christmas. Checking it twice. And then,
It makes perfect sense.
It must be a Kit Kat if it's breaking.
These breaks are pretty quick.
Yeah.
Oh, holy crap. I never noticed that. The Kit Kat and the Santa Claus. That's the exact same song. I didn't realize until just now. I was 28 years old when I realized that is the exact same song.
Yeah, right. Same like
love
ABCs and Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. Same song.
Yeah, I knew that one.
It's a lack of imagination.
Yeah. Like, let's just rewrite.
You know what's funny? Years ago, it must have been, it had to have been Kara, but we were singing old songs that I grew up with. I used to have these Disney records that were like children's favorites or whatever. And it'd be like nursery rhymes or whatever. And then other songs that would, like, She'll Be Coming Around the Mountain. Mm-hmm. What are some of the one of them that I sang with my kids a lot and still do with Leia is the green grass grows all around or grew all around. I forget what the title was. But then we got to Three Blind Mice. So we started singing that one. And I get through it, three blind mice, see out of the run, see out of the run. They all ran after the farmer's wife. She cut off their tails with a carving knife. You know how it goes. Yeah. We all grew up with it. My daughter's like, what the fuck is this song?
It's dark.
Like she did what?
Yeah.
Why would she do that to the mice?
People were bored.
I guess I never realized that. Yeah.
No, it's we're just used to hearing the words. But it's just straight up about, starts off, these mice, they've had an unfortunate life. Yeah. They can't see anything. So this bitch just starts hacking off their tails.
I mean, add insult to injury real quick right there.
Nothing. There was no
like, first of all, lady, they didn't know where they were.
No.
They had no idea they were in your house.
No.
Come on.
Like, how did they make the cut and put that out there? Nowadays, we'd be like, hey, these lyrics, I don't know.
Well, and it's also interesting to hear songs that talk about Dixie. Right. And, that's not really a PC thing anymore to talk about. I mean, which is the same reason why the Dixie Chicks are no longer the Dixie Chicks. They're the chicks. Yeah. Chicks. And
you got because so many people had a problem with that.
Right?
They got one step ahead of it, Shane.
Yeah.
They're on top of that shit. Yeah. I don't know. It's interesting listening back to some of those old songs that I used to sing along with growing up, and some of them, I say half of them they didn't make it through the PC filter. Just saying. No, they got held back.
Yeah. Even if you look at like old school Looney Tunes, like some of the violence in there, we didn't even think about
the guns, the shotguns.
Yeah, was I reading? Yeah, someone. When the new speaking back of HBO Max, they brought Looney Tunes to there. I think what is it, Sylvester? No, not Sylvester. Who's them? Yosemite Sam. Right?
Yeah.
Doesn't have pistols anymore.
What the fuck does he got?
What?
I don't know. I haven't seen it.
That's him.
Like that. No. And then Elmer Fudd. I don't think he has a rifle anymore or anything like that. I think they just took weapons out of it completely.
Which weird.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know how they're gonna do Wile E. Coyote and Roadrunner. I don't know what they're gonna do. And it was like, send mean tweets. Is that what they're gonna
do? They're in a cave.
Oh, you hurt my feelings.
Yeah. Catch me if you can. Like, fuck you. That would be hilarious.
Yeah. I don't know. I think years ago for an anniversary of E.T., they digitally took out the shotguns that the cops had and put in walkie-talkies.
Yeah.
And fans freaked the fuck out.
Did they hold the walkie-talkies like shotguns?
I forget. However they did it, it worked.
I'll have to rewatch it. I haven't seen E.T. in a while.
Spielberg put the money into it and made sure that it was kid-friendly. But when they released it on the DVD or Blu-ray and since then, it's been restored to the way that it was.
Okay.
But there was one release that you could get that had walkie-talkies in their hands. It's the part where the kids take off in front of the cop cars. Yeah. So there's two cops that are like crouching down holding guns.
I think that's kind of weird that they did that because when all three of us went to time out that one night, I was mesmerized. I couldn't, some of the conversation I couldn't remember. I was mesmerized by the Freeform, they had the 25 Days of Christmas. They did, I guess, the birth of Christ from the donkey's point of view or something like that. I don't know. I still got to figure out what this movie is, but I was captivated by it. I was like, I had no idea what people were talking about that night. I'm just watching the tale of Jesus, the nativity scene, and it's from like the donkey's point of view.
Yeah.
And they had a Roman soldier trying to find Mary, and I assume kill her or something like that,
right.
or bring her in. One of those two things. Yeah. He had a sword. He was swiping it around and everything like that, and I'm just like, that's not kid friendly if we're talking about that. Like, I don't understand this. That just reminded me of that.
Well, and it gets into the whole, I show my family old movies like The Goonies and whatnot, and The Goonies is PG.
Yeah.
Like
It's
that wouldn't be PG now.
Oh yeah.
There's no way.
Some of the stuff on
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a number of curse words in that.
Well, I mean, they fat shame that poor kid right
Yeah.
there. Do the truffle shuffle.
That's true.
Fine.
Oh, that poor kid. Junk. I love him.
It's hilarious.
I know. But the rating system has changed. So much has changed.
Yeah. We went back, and for Christmas, I wanted to watch some classics, not necessarily Christmas movies, but I was sitting there, I'm like, you know what? I need to kind of, I feel overdue for some John Candy.
Nice.
And so I whipped out Uncle Buck.
Oh, that's
Well
a classic.
played.
And my parents like, oh my God, yeah. And they're like, oh, Macaulay Culkin's in this. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
And he was kind of
He
right.
plays one of the kids, yeah.
It was right before Home Alone, like 2 years before Home Alone.
Because that was Hughes, right?
Yeah, it was
That did
John
Uncle
Hughes.
Buck.
And then, what was it? I wanted to... so Planes and Trains are tonight. So like the thing I downloaded, for some reason the audio disc didn't work. I'm like, great, the picture looks awesome, but like, I don't know what's going on.
Was it a foreign language or
No,
what?
it just
off.
I put it on the TV, and then the TV even said like audio format does not work. And I'm like, cool.
Oh, that's lame.
Fuck you, internet. Anyway,
Well, wait for Thanksgiving next year because that's a Thanksgiving movie.
It is. So I tried to download that, didn't work. And then in the meantime, we watched what was it? It was Christmas Vacation, which was a Christmas, but written by John Hughes, not directed by him.
Yeah.
or whatever. And so
Well,
I'm like,
he
okay,
had
that's
shit
cool.
to do.
Yeah. And then what else we watched?
Oh yeah, that's not PG too.
Right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
shit and bricks.
Yeah. It was
Brick.
nuts.
Sorry,
It was fun to see.
shit and rocks.
Right? So I don't know. It was just kind of fun.
Wait, is it shit and rocks or is it shit and bricks?
She says shit and bricks, and then
Right.
Chevy says something about, hey, watching. She says, sorry, shit and rocks.
Yeah. She corrected herself.
God, yeah.
Yeah.
Shows you how often I watch that movie.
I watched that movie a lot growing up. We should watch that this year. There's a buffer. We could
There
still
is.
watch Christmas movies up until New Year's,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Question I'll pose y'all.
Yeah.
What's one Christmas movie that you love, like you got to watch every year, and what's one Christmas movie that you're like, I don't really care that much
good
about?
one. That's a good one.
Yeah.
I feel like I gravitate towards Elf. Like Elf came out. I mean, yes, there's the classics when you grow up that were kind of like, and that was Christmas Vacation because it was so long ago that it was like that came out the year I was born. It was just like when you grow up, it's automatically a classic. But then you get those classics that like you're kind of living it. Kind of, it came out in 2003. I was in high school, so it was just a huge hit. And then Will Ferrell was huge on SNL.
Yeah.
And that's one that like I just have memories of growing up with.
Yeah. My dad and my girlfriend hate Elf.
Really?
Can't stand it. They will not watch it. They hate it.
Now, what's the reasoning per person?
My dad just corny. I really don't think he likes Will Ferrell.
Sure.
There's those people out there.
Yeah.
And then my girlfriend, who I guess watched it young enough to where a giant elf man scared her. So
Oh,
she's just
no.
like, I was like, I just don't like it. And I was just
the
like,
association of
I was
it.
like, grow up.
It's a comedian in the
Yeah,
tights.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
okay.
yeah,
It's okay.
yeah.
It's okay. And then like I don't know. I get there's classics out there, but I've never been attracted to the classics. Like my brother and I have different tastes, so he'll watch like Miracle on 34th Street or
Okay.
It's a Wonderful Life, which it's a good movie, but I'm like, I think it's dry. I mean, I'll watch it if I have to.
I mean, that's the way that they were.
Yeah, it's just, to me, it just doesn't hold my attention.
Right.
Not to say it's a bad movie, but I'm just kind of like, meh.
I'm the same way. I don't mind them. I'll watch them. The one movie I can't stand is A Christmas Story.
We did watch that, on TBS or whatever.
I'll skip it. Don't care. I'll shoot your eye out. Like, oh, great. Okay, wow, one-liner, great.
It gets old.
Yeah. But my stepmom has to watch it every single year. She always asks me, and I'm just like, I gotta go take a shit. Like, I'm not doing
for an hour and a half.
Yeah. I gotta go tie my shoe and take a shit. Not in this room.
Oh my god.
What is it about the movie that you don't like? Or do you feel like it was ruined for you, like because it was built up so much prior to you even?
I think it might have been that, and then no. Okay, now I remember. My stepmom made me watch it, and I was just like, "Oh, it's kind of a cool Christmas movie." Like, now I understand where the leg lamp comes from. The Red Ryder BB gun, some of the tongue on the pole. Yeah. Like I get all these references.
All of the things you hear about. Yeah.
So I got all the references, and then I think AMC still does it. It's on 24.
That's what we watched.
Wow.
It was on, I think, either TBS or TNT or something like that. Yeah. And so, of course, it's cut for time, but I'm sitting there at home going, it's 4:00. I already know that this scene, and you can jump in at any fucking point.
Yeah.
And we jumped in right before the bunny suit scene. And we just watched it from there. We didn't have to start it over. It was just weird.
Yeah, I guess it just kind of lost its lust on me. So I'm just like, I don't really care about it that much anymore.
Like, but it's fun because, like, I've been able to dive into certain movies. Like Netflix had the behind the scenes of Elf, which I didn't know.
That's kind of
the stories.
Kind of the making of a bit.
Yeah, and I liked it. It was just kind of an extra.
I wouldn't recommend it for McKenna.
Well, when it's my movie night, I know what I'm going to watch. I'll be like, suck it up. It's my night. It's my night.
So it's like icing on the cake because then you watch it again, more facts. I'm like, oh wow, that's really cool.
Yeah.
And then there's a YouTube guy that I follow, and the A Christmas Story house is actually Airbnb now, and so he filmed a video where he rented out the whole house, and he's like, "Yeah, this is total." I took the tour, and I'm
gonna go dislike that video. What's his name?
Adam. He's a really cool guy. No. Yeah. And so it's just kind of interesting how he just went through the whole tour, and then he's like, "Yeah, this is exactly where this was shot. This is exactly where this was shot," and then he's like, "There's only one rule in this house: is that we cannot unplug the leg lamp," because he's like, people will show up if you're staying there. We'll just come up.
Honey, take your picture with the leg lamp. You can go buy.
So they just have it in front of the window. It's at. Okay.
But everything else is like redone. And I've had a friend of mine that I met in Minneapolis that's funny. She wore the bunny suit, and that's her profile picture. And she's like, "That's actually at the house." I went, "What?" And then I like brought it up because we watched it, and I'm like, "Mom, I know someone that actually," and the scene came up.
Wait, did she buy the costume and then went to the? Oh, okay. I didn't know if it was like one of those like where people are standing in line to try on the bunny costume. Next.
Right.
Next.
But like across the street, there was like a so he took the tour, and then that's where like the Red Ryder BB gun is behind glass and everything.
Oh, nice.
So like not everything was
so
shot.
Across the street there's like a museum.
And then there's like another apartment attached to the house itself. So it's kind of different setup, but it's kind of interesting to see the details.
I hope that they were smart enough to not only have their mailbox outside, but one that's set up for tips. I mean, make something off of that shit. Am I right?
Yeah. So it was kind of neat that, that's out there that they're doing for the fans of whatever. I know it's not for you, but it's
I might go just to go check it out and then take an upper decker in the bathroom. But besides that,
drink your Ovaltine.
By the way, thanks for that upper decker that you left us after the tour.
But it was kind of cool. It was just kind of neat. Yeah. To dive into those movies that you thought you knew. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I don't. So watching movies in general, whether it be holiday movies or whatever, I try so hard not to get burnt out on the ones that I love. Now, Elf, I feel like I could get burnt out on that if I watched it every year. I think it's been a few years since I've watched Christmas Vacation. So since we were talking about it, and we talked about it recently too, I think I could watch that one this year. Yeah. I think that would be fun. But my favorite ones to watch would be in that realm. I would say Christmas Vacation. This is a sensitive subject, but Die Hard is definitely one. that I know we talked about that a bit at the bar. A bit at the bar. I believe McKenna was on my side. Is that right?
Think, yeah, just to get a rouse out of me. Yeah,
yes, exactly. Shane has his opinions, and they may not align with mine, but we're still friends. That's fair. It's fine. We work through it.
It's an action movie that takes place during Christmas.
That's right.
What are the odds?
And I mean, here's the thing.
It's a Harry Potter movie.
That's what I thought. That is exactly what I said. That's exactly what I said.
It's that meme.
It was Harry Potter, a Christmas movie. And of course,
well, but the whole...
Alan Rickman.
We're not going to talk about
Tower.
this forever, okay? But the entire movie of Die Hard takes place at Christmas time. Harry Potter, just part of it, is at Christmas time.
All right. Well,
because
that's the weird part.
and I believe each movie, well, maybe not each movie, maybe not the last one.
Yeah.
But each movie has a portion that takes place at Christmas time.
Which is, they're fucking wizards. What's Jesus got on him? Like,
come on. I don't.
Like,
I think it's a different. First of all, Jesus doesn't own Christmas. Okay, his name has been
Hallmark
been adapted.
Hallmark.
We did a fact thing about Christmas in a previous episode. It might have been the last one, but we found out that Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer actually came from like a department store because they told some dude to come up with a story for Christmas. And just so they could sell like their own coloring books or something like that.
Really?
And just some dude came up with the story of Rudolph, and it turned into this whole fucking phenomenon.
Oh, well,
but
I know what to talk about at New Year's Eve parties now.
Right?
Exactly.
It's like, hey, Rudolph. Yeah.
Hey, Montgomery Ward or something like that.
Yeah.
I think it was. Yeah. I don't know.
My
I
mom
forget.
used to work there years ago.
But I enjoy being able to sit down and watch Christmas movies. It's just what I mean.
Do you ever go back and watch the claymation Rudolph and Frosty?
Yes, and we actually we have a
games.
DVD set that I got years ago that has all of them in there. The Santa Claus one, Rudolph, Frosty, all of them are in there, and I think it even has some of the sequels as well that arguably sucked.
Blitzen loses it.
Whoa. I like the Heat Miser, Snow Miser. Those are some baller bangers right there, man. I'm Mr. Heat Miser. I'm Mr. Sun. Man, my dad would, he was so mad every time I would sing that song because I would not shut up.
Really?
Oh, yeah. I would just be all around the house stomping around, I'm Mr. Heat Miser. And he's like, you're not even singing the song, you're just saying, I'm Mr. Heat Miser over and over again.
I'm Mr. Heat Miser. I'm Mr. Heat Miser.
Yeah. Oh, God. Talk about wanting to beat your kids.
Those were the days.
Merry fucking Christmas.
Christmas Vacation has always been one of my favorites. And just, I think the combo of the comedy and it turns into one of those things that we talked about before, that it's not even necessarily funny anymore. It's just kind of a part of you.
Yeah.
We discussed this when it comes to going to Weird Al concerts.
Yeah.
You kind of forget how inherently funny these lyrics can be. But a lot of people that have grown up listening to Weird Al, they mean a lot more to them. So you're singing along to these fucking ridiculous lyrics about like jumping into a swimming pool of razor blades. And you don't think
people are just
anything about it, and you're just singing along because it's a part of your past. And same can be said for Christmas Vacation or A Christmas Story. A lot of those things. It's just kind of they become a part of you.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
So there is a part in Christmas Vacation where there's like an advent calendar kind of cut scene.
Yeah, they keep doing that.
Oh yeah.
And it starts with like December 14th, and then they open up a little thing, and then someone shows up to the house, and my mom's like, "Why the fuck did they show up so goddamn early to Christmas?"
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, now I think about it. They did.
Yeah. And then Eddie was like, "Oh, we're going to keep this RV for another month." It's like, "Oh God, you're sticking around."
I didn't realize that was a long ass time that they just stayed at. It's like
2 weeks. Yeah.
I can't go 2 minutes with my family. I'd be like, wow, this is a lot of fun. Can we please wrap this up?
I also don't think you could have gone 2 minutes with Juliette Lewis being your sister. Just saying.
Oh, hey, there you go. I feel like Christmas Vacation.
I gotta go use the bathroom.
God damn it.
I feel like Christmas Vacation should have ended a smidge differently. Like the end is.
Oh no, we're getting into dangerous territory here.
He's in the yard, and it's like the shooting star, and then okay, that's good. But like, I feel like part of me should have like fast forwarded to like the actual pool installed, because he finally got the bonus
Yeah.
at work or something. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean,
Finally
he's got
that
the
slice of the pie.
Yeah, he's got the daydream sequence, which is funny. But
I wonder if they're ever going to do that with Chevy Chase still alive. If they're going to do Christmas Vacation Part 2 or something like that,
know.
or have they?
No, they
he did a
certainly
cameo.
haven't. But they did a new vacation
commercial. Yeah.
movie. Well, yes, there's
yeah.
a commercial that he just did. I think it's for like fucking Ford,
Yeah,
or
Ford
something like that.
Electric
where
Ford Mustang.
it's him and Beverly D'Angelo.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
And
commercial.
so that just happened.
Yeah.
And then Ed Helms did a vacation movie where
4, 5, 6
he is Rusty, grown up. And so Chevy showed up in that. I assume that Beverly D'Angelo was there as well, because she's not doing shit.
She's on a cameo, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
What are you gonna do? Yeah.
She had a good episode on Podcast Talking Podcasts. She had a good episode with Gilbert Gottfried.
Really?
And they talked about some of her. I learned quite a bit about her.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. But apparently everybody has a very interesting past with Chevy when it comes to working with him.
From Joel McHale to other people. It's like,
well, and I think that Community was hard for him because Chevy was such a big deal. Yeah. And then on this show, he was like, the crazy grandpa character in the room. And he used to be the main attraction and the most attractive guy on set. And now you've got Joel McHale,
kind of
many years later. And Chevy was kind of the older comic relief. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I think that was tough on him and his ego based on the interviews that I've heard, because I've heard Allison Brie talk about it. And I've read some stuff about Donald Glover. Did you watch Community?
I mean, like not all the way through. I watch bits and pieces. I always like the.
I was going to say,
I
think it would be right up your alley.
Yeah,
especially for DMAC. For sure.
Oh, yeah.
Like it was on when I was in college. I was like, this is like spot on.
Well, and it's a certain type of comedy.
Yeah.
That if you get it, you get it. And I think that the three of us kind of have similar comedic instincts and whatnot. And Dan Harmon, I don't know. I get his comedy. And when it comes to Community or Rick and Morty, I feel like, not to be like snobby about it, but there's a lot of people out there that would watch it and maybe enjoy it, but not completely get it.
Right.
So
like
how about Rick and Morty? Have you watched any of that?
Oh yeah, no, I love Rick and Morty. And, like I said, I'd watch Community. I like first world problems. There's so many TV shows out there.
I got to work on Buffy.
And
yeah, you do.
McKenna wants to watch
well,
that. Yeah,
hey.
yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, no, but we
right.
have so many shows. Like we're watching
Zoom.
True.
Exactly.
Yeah, Zoom Party. You didn't watch it?
Exactly.
We did one of those when I was in
all
Georgia.
7 seasons. And then we'll read the comics together afterwards.
Oh my god.
Well, there's
Book club.
one show I haven't seen The Sopranos yet.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and then I'm waiting.
I haven't either, but
Yeah.
my parents are working through it.
No, and then I haven't seen Breaking Bad.
Worth it.
Yeah. There's all
Luckily,
these.
Breaking Bad didn't go on for 19 seasons. So
Yeah,
That's
no,
fair.
but
you got time.
there's tons of shows that
Yeah.
I just haven't seen that are like staples in
culture and all that.
pop culture.
Yeah.
I just haven't seen.
Well, fortunately, I think a lot of them, for the most part, hold up. Now, when it comes to something like Buffy getting started, it feels very 90s. So as long as you're okay with that and you remember existing during that time, then you're going to be fine. Now, Breaking Bad, it's recent enough, and it still holds up so well, like the feel of the entire thing.
Not much.
So I don't think you're going to have any trouble with that.
That's what I hear. Like a really good TV show that I watch. I just couldn't get into. Cheers. Couldn't get into it.
Oh yeah,
It's too old, but like I get the references now and everything like that.
You know, I think it's surprising to me now that I liked Cheers so much because I watched it like the beginning of college. Like I knew of it and I used to watch bits and pieces of it when I was a kid. But when I was living on State Avenue in Ames I was there for like a year or so, maybe a little more. But it was on Nick at Night. And so I would watch Cheers.
Cheers was on Nick at Night?
Yeah. And I would watch
old,
I would
right?
watch and record every episode. I'm a fucking nerd. I don't know if you remember this. Every episode in order of Cheers and Mad About You. Those were the 2 shows that I watched.
Yeah.
But also I did record Space Ghost Coast to Coast.
Yes.
Oh yeah,
And the Brack Show.
Yeah.
And some other uber nerdy shit. So.
Oh my god.
But yeah,
early Adult Swim right there.
Yeah.
That was early Adult
God, it
Swim.
was so good. There's
Yeah, Adult Swim's nothing. Oh my god.
there's some episodes of stuff that happened on Space Ghost Coast to Coast. It's some of the funniest shit that I've ever. I had the chance to meet C. Martin at a convention, and then he does the voice of Zorak. This guy here, and it ended up being like 3 weeks before he died. It was super weird, but I wasn't like starstruck with him, but I wanted to make sure that I let him know. I went up to him. I was with my daughter, and so I bought. You saw it out there. I've got a sketch that he made of Zorak that was actually for one of the episodes, and he signed it to me. And in one of the episodes, Zorak turns into Bat Mantis. It's a Batman themed episode, and they have like Eartha Kitt was on there. Basically, some of the 1966 show characters were on there. And Zorak turns into Batmanus, and in the episode, he just has this phrase that he utters a couple times: "Give me your money." And so he wrote that on there for me, and
cool.
and I said, "Dude, the hardest I've ever laughed is watching this thing that you made," and I think he appreciated it, and I just felt good that I got to tell him that. I didn't even know he was going to be there. I was just walking around like they have the artist alley and things like that, and then some celebrities can be mixed in there, and it just so happened to be him, and I'm like, wait, you're fucking what? Like that's you? Wow. I had no idea. I didn't know what he looked like or anything. I got a quick picture with him, but for real though. Some of the hardest I've ever, and I wasn't even on drugs then, but I would laugh so hard watching that show.
Man,
it's some of the funniest shit.
I'm sure like that'd be weird to go to like a meet and greet convention to voice work and be like, oh, I guess you look like that. Okay.
Yeah. You have no idea.
It's like,
no idea.
Yeah, when I figured out growing up that like some of the male characters that I would like watch on cartoons were voiced by female.
Bart Simpson.
Bart Simpson. I'm like, what?
Oh, Nancy.
I would have never known.
And then they do like 15 other characters. Like, oh.
Yeah, that's nuts.
It's like, can I meet Mo? Can I meet?
Yeah.
It's just like, oh, weird.
The best thing for The Simpsons is to go online and find the Inside the Actors Studio with the cast of The Simpsons.
That was great.
Because he gets them to go through all of the characters.
It's like, let me say hello to Homer.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And that dude, Dan, he did the voice of Doc Brown in the Back to the Future cartoon that lasted like 26 episodes.
I did come across to that guy who did the voice to Homer on a Conan thing. Yeah, and he was just sitting there. He's like, do Homer. And okay, do that. It's just like this whole jukebox.
Some people are cool about it.
Yeah, other people
Frank Oz, not so cool about it.
I bet.
Who's Frank Oz?
Frank Oz did the voice of Yoda.
Okay, there we go.
Fozzie Bear, Miss Piggy.
Oh my god.
Tons and tons of voices over the years. So, but definitely got started with Jim Henson. Or at least got famous with Jim Henson.
Yeah.
Because it was, just him and Jim doing Kermit and Fozzie and Piggy.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's always. I remember telling my kids that the person that does the voice of Miss Piggy is this guy. It's pretty funny, and still does it.
It's a lower range.
It's not that different when you listen to Piggy and Yoda. Next to each other. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, I
think. It was pretty good.
Yeah. Joe's good at coming up with shit on the spot.
Yeah.
I'm kind of jealous.
Not bad.
Oh, yeah. I've been trying to work on my impressions for a while, but like it sucks. It's like it's so tough to do them just like on the spot.
Yeah.
Right.
But if we're just hanging out, like as soon as we get done with this and we're just hanging out, I'll just slowly come on with impressions. But because like we're recording and everything like that, I'm like, don't do it.
Don't do it.
I know
you want.
It's not going to come out the way you think.
Yeah.
I have a good wheelhouse of impressions, but I've never introduced them into my act. It's just kind of like that weird pressure of like, it better come out right. It better be the right tone.
I mean, there's tons of impressions that like I just work on, but like I'll only do them with like friends, just want like just in the moment and everything.
Like, that's good.
I'll do that.
I don't even know if I'd be good at some, just because I never try.
Yeah.
Like I don't practice any on my own. Like I'll be sitting around with you and I'll hear you try something and I'm like, man, I wonder if I could do that.
Yeah.
and sometimes it's a hit, and most times it's not. It's definitely a miss.
Yeah, it's weird. I used to record myself on tape back in the day, and then like I sounded, people. I used to do George Bush back in high school because he was the president, and he was just kind of dorky, whatever, and people kept telling me like that's pretty good. Like I'm like, is it? Okay, and you hear yourself differently, so I just got the tape player out, and I'm like, yeah, that sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
It's like, okay.
I mean, I've been wanting to work on a Winnie the Pooh for a while now, so I might have to try that.
I have tried that, and back in the day, my
He's up higher, and you got to bring the voice forward. Christopher Robin, sort of. It's kind of there.
I'm not gonna workshop it right now, but I've been able to do Pooh, and I can do a little bit of Darkwing Duck. But back in school, like back in middle school, I remember being pleasantly surprised that I could do Kermit the Frog. And then later on in life, I realized that 90% of the population can do Kermit the Frog.
It's like,
well, that's what you start off on.
Yeah, well, and I'm like, I thought that was like that I could that was my thing. I could do it. So then I just started flipping everybody off.
All right, but like, how's that make the voice actor who does Kermit feel? Like, hey, everyone can do that voice. Like,
well, he's dead. So
but still, like, if everyone,
somebody else does it now. But yes, Jim Henson's super dead.
But still, like, hey, everyone can do that voice that you do on TV.
No, that's fair.
Everyone's off after for your job.
But they are better. I remember my kids were watching, I think it would have been Kara at the time, was watching Mickey Mouse Clubhouse. And they just somehow through the news, I found out that the person that was doing the voice of Mickey was retiring. And he had done it for a bunch of shit. And they were getting a new Mickey Mouse. But since we watched that show, I just kind of paid attention to it. And there was a subtle change. But it was a dude that was like my age that was now doing the voice of Mickey Mouse. And it just got me thinking, like, how much shit is this dude going to be, doing this voice on? And, whether it be the show or
advertisements,
something showing up a cameo in a movie, because that's the thing. Like the dude that does Winnie the Pooh, he ended up in the movie with Ewan McGregor. And, he did the voice of the live action Pooh that was in there. And it's just, it's interesting to get your foot in that door, that Disney door, and then just see what else it is that you can do.
That's gotta be weird, because I assume it's like any other, like it's like, I'm retiring as Mickey Mouse, and then they, you got to be in there for like the audition process, and be like, it's like,
Hi,
all right,
boys and girls.
yeah, it's like it's like, all right, number 123, come on in. And it's just like, hi, here, headshots, you hand those out, and then the guy just doing it's like,
he's smoking a cigarette.
What are you waiting for? Yeah, he's like,
let it roll.
What have you got?
Yeah.
I'm not,
oh my god.
I'm not here. It's like, I just imagine that. It's kind of funny.
Everyone smoked, right? Yeah.
Yeah. I just imagine that he does. I mean, I don't know if he smokes or not, but I just imagine that. It's like, make me laugh.
Like, do it.
It's just like,
don't waste my time. All right. Like, crap. All right.
Oh boy, you got it. Like something like that. Like he just gets up from
just leaves. Like, all right, meeting adjourned.
That's great.
Yeah, that would be hard.
I don't know if it's like that or not, but I think it'd be kind of funny.
You would do the voices for all the stuff at the parks.
Yeah.
Think about, remember, dude, I forget his name. But he was all over the news. The dude that did the voice of Elmo, he got all like
that guy.
He got all like handsy with people like underage or something, wasn't it? Wasn't it underage?
I want to say
kids
something
or something like that
along those lines, or it was kind of like.
I mean, I don't feel like anybody's gonna hold me against claiming something if it happens to not be true. But it was something real bad, and he was saying he didn't do it, but they were like, "Yeah, you probably did." And so then there ended up being a new person, but it was kind of weird because he came up with the Elmo voice.
Yeah.
At the beginning, because Elmo was a completely different, like the puppet existed, but there's footage out there of Elmo having a completely different voice.
Yeah.
And before he kind of turned into the known Elmo character, I want to say this dude's name was like Kevin something or whatever. But he created the voice and the persona and all of that. But then he gets canned for doing dirty shit, and then somebody else comes in, takes his voice
tries to develop it
and does that so that Elmo can exist.
Wait, so Elmo didn't have like the original like high pitched voice?
Yeah, so originally there's some footage out there somewhere that Elmo, it was the same puppet, but they used him in another sketch, and it was just a completely.
Hey kids, it's time to. We're learning about the letter K, as in like, can we keep a secret? You know, 'cause we're gonna do some stuff. Could you keep a secret?
Who wants to tickle me?
Yeah.
It's like, oh.
We're gonna learn T for tickle time.
You're not wrong.
Tickle me almost.
You're not wrong, and you kind of sound like Krusty there.
Yeah.
There you go. So that's another another one you can do.
Yes, there you go. That's good.
But it was. I think there was some. I don't know if they ended up having to like pay him out something, or if the voice was then the property of Sesame Street, or how that worked. I wonder. But he just kind of vanished.
Well, now I've got homework tonight.
Exactly.
Well, there was I think it's called Being Elmo. It's like a whole documentary of that.
Oh
guy.
boy.
Yeah.
Oh wait, because that was before that all went down. Yeah, I remember watching
right
that.
Before.
Yeah.
Being Elmo opens up. Elmo, fuck man, I haven't heard that name in a long time.
There's someone that comes to open mic that has like an Elmo joke.
Oh, do they?
I forget who.
Was that
Matt? Was
Matt?
that
Jacobson?
Yeah.
Matt Jacobson,
Oh my God. It's like my bosses showed up for that night, whatever night he said that joke, and they're like, "Oh my God, that was so what?" He's counting I don't want to blow the joke, but
Elmo
it was just
drinking.
Elmo
he said
drinking.
he's going to come on the podcast
that'd be
sometime.
fun.
So we're gonna. I don't remember what that was.
The joke. Of,
Don't say it.
No.
We're gonna get him to say it.
Yeah, I don't want to I don't know.
Assuming the Alzheimer's hasn't set in.
Right. It was just funny. Yeah, he does a really good Elmo.
But voice work would be a ton of fun. I saw that Nancy Cartwright that does Bart Simpson. She's doing a masterclass of voice acting. And it was funny because I watched the promo of it. It just kind of popped up on my Facebook or Instagram or whatever. And she barely mentions The Simpsons. So I'm wondering if she's like not really supposed to talk about that.
Or if it's obvious.
But maybe it's just implied.
Yeah.
It's it's like this character that you've been doing for over 30 years.
Tell me a little bit about your work.
Barely mentioning.
Eat my shorts.
Eat my shorts, man. Yeah.
Oh, what's that from? Just completely oblivious. Like never watched The Simpsons a day in their life.
I've heard of Family Guy.
Eat my shorts? What?
Cowabunga.
I don't get it.
Cleveland show. I'm a big fan. And I just
when was the last time Bart Simpson said cowabunga?
Oh, that's a good question.
Oh Jesus.
I mean, because that was a very 90s thing, like 80s into 90s.
Yeah.
I'm not sure that the character says that shit anymore.
I haven't really checked in with Simpsons in a while.
Yeah, it kind of. I feel like the show's gonna die. It's been going on for too long.
It should die.
Yeah,
but I'm more comfortable with the Simpsons being around than shit like Grey's Anatomy. That should have died a long time ago.
Fair trade.
And I tell my wife this on the daily, and I think it is supposed to be coming to an end.
Yeah.
Now, but I get it as far as the lead actors and the show creators. If people are attached to the characters, it's a cash cow. Like and you've got to be so used to doing it. Remember reading let's get back to The Simpsons. The people that do the voices for that work like fucking 6 hours a week or some crazy low fucking number.
Read a script.
It's so easy for them to bust out an episode, and they make millions. Per season.
Great.
It's like it's
Hank Azaria.
I forget what the exact number was, but it's super low.
But I didn't know about the hours, but the amount, it's ridiculous. I'd be like, I'll keep doing that. Yeah, easy. I would do the same thing. Like, fuck you, I'm not going to cancel my show.
Well, and now you could have the equipment in your house, record it there if you wanted to, even if you couldn't get into the studio.
Email a script and be like, all right.
Although going into the studio, you wouldn't exactly.
Yeah.
Although going into the studio, it's primarily just you, a microphone, glass, so you're not really around anybody. We all need to get into voice work, is what I'm saying.
That'd be so cool.
We need to come up with original voices that are super awesome, or somebody needs to die.
Okay. All right. And one of that's going to be one of us three. Tune in.
No, I don't want one of us to die. Somebody famous that we can impersonate.
Oh, there you go.
They need to die. We're never dying.
We're never dying.
That's how that works.
Right. That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got it all figured out. It's science.
We totally should.
I've got all the paperwork out there.
Oh, yeah. Do you want to take that break?
Do we need another break?
Right?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
Voice
Wait,
work.
did you just put that in? You just say take a break?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
We just edit it in later. Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, that break's done.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought we were.
That's why we came back.
I was like, oh hey, dude.
Like that was an hour ago.
You guys want to take a break?
We just keep rolling.
Never took that break.
Right? Industry secrets.
I mean, that break,
Now that I know.
we sat here and we listened to that commercial. Actually, not only did we listen to it, we do it word for word, verbatim, the same rhythm
Right.
every time, just right here on the microphone.
Consistent.
No. Breaks are super simple. It's So I cut it and then I'll insert the commercial in
Tell the audience how the sausage is made.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
I like that.
Well, maybe I'll cut this out. I don't want them to know too much.
Cut the sausage.
Yeah.
I didn't know you're Jewish.
It's been.
Yeah.
I'm 1/58th Jewish.
That's fair.
It's probably not true. Okay. Well, maybe it could be.
Did you take an ancestry test or something?
I did. I took one. I'm mostly British.
Oh,
Makes
okay.
sense. Yeah.
I didn't know it, but
Doctor
I
Who.
I had no idea. I actually assumed, and this is stupid, but I assumed that I was like German or something. But it was based on what most of my friends were.
Okay.
Just because we were in like the same area. I don't know if I just boiled it down to like an Iowa thing or whatever, but I had no idea. But now that I found out that I'm mostly British, and then I look at like, I remember my great grandmother and other people on a certain side of the family, and I'm like, oh yeah, I guess that checks out. She looks like an old British lady.
That's fair. That's fair.
She looks like, had things gone in a different direction for her, she could have been a queen or something like that. Like that's what she looks like. Yeah. But
Man.
yeah. No, I'm like 50% British and then a
Nice.
bunch of other stuff mixed in.
Dang.
And then much like Elizabeth Warren, I'm sure I'm also
Native American.
Yeah,
I am.
exactly.
I know that. It's like,
Wait, what? You serious?
yeah, my great grandma's full Indian. Like she was actually purchased by my great grandpa off the reservation.
Really?
Sioux and Cherokee here in like Des Moines area.
Wow.
Yeah. So
Oh,
I know I
that's
have
kinda
that.
cool.
My dad did his ancestry thing, and he found out he's like a high percentage of Neanderthal. He's like just this big mix.
Damn.
It's like it makes sense. It makes sense, and like yeah. So he's got high-blooded Native American, and then like recently he went in to get like a tooth. Like he sent me and my brother a picture, like an X-ray of his skull.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Like these cheekbones that are like up to here, which you wouldn't see it on him, but like in an X-ray, it's like prominent cheekbones.
Well,
like-
because he has skin.
yeah.
So that helps.
Yeah, but it's just
Yeah.
like weird. That I'm like, yeah, those are kind of my dad's eyes. It
That's
kinda, like,
funny.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, it's like doesn't that X-ray look Native American to you? Like I'm like, yeah, it totally does.
Wow.
So my brother did it. My dad did it. I did it twice, but I can't. For some reason, something in my spit they can't like process because some people don't have enough DNA in their spit.
Yeah.
And I did so like
You
I
should
did
give him the other stuff.
Yeah, right. So,
You should just fill that
right,
out.
that's your
Just
that's your
toss it in
future. That's they tell you your future that way.
Whoa, that's filling up quick.
Hey.
Just a little bit of that.
Yeah.
That's what they call
So
it.
I did 23andMe, and I
Yeah.
spit into the vial, sent it in, and then I get an email saying, "Oh, it's being processed." And then we couldn't really pull anything.
Yeah.
This happens. I'm like, oh,
Do you get your
okay.
money back at that point? or-
They sent a free one.
Oh, okay.
And so like we'll replace it for free. And then I did it again, and then they said, "We're sorry due to our, we just can't keep affording to send you more. So like we're sorry, but hit the bricks." It's
Oh,
like,
really? Didn't give you anything back?
They did not give me money back.
Man.
I also got it as a gift too.
Oh,
so I'm
yeah.
like,
Okay, I
who
guess no
cares?
harm, no foul.
Yeah,
with that.
exactly.
Yeah.
But I was like, damn, I wanted to like know. I mean, my mom's maiden name is O'Brien, so I have a lot of Irish in me. So I know I got those two, I guess. But
I had no interest in getting one done. It's not like I was anti it,
Right.
but my wife's mom is really interested in finding out about your ancestors. I mean, we planned an entire trip to New York, my family, however many of us there were at the time, and then my wife's brother and brothers, and then my wife's mom. We all I drove a van out to New York, but we stopped at like grave sites on the way, and even like hidden ones, like ridiculously small, tiny places to find headstones or tombstones of their ancestors. And I forget how many we stopped by. It felt like 1 million, but I think it was like 5.
like you
But
gotta
we stopped by a bunch because I want to say that they came in to into what would it be, Staten Island?
that makes sense.
Where is that?
Staten Island.
Staten Island.
That makes-
Okay.
yeah.
So they eventually migrated or whatever. I know that's a bird thing, but I think people do it too.
Yeah.
Right. So we stopped by all these places and did like the pencil
the
etchings or whatever, and got some pictures. And I had the video camera with us. But that's one of the main reasons that we ended up taking that trip. And it was just a bonus that we got to go to New York City at the end of it.
It's a genealogy trip.
Exactly. Yeah. So we did that. And then later on, we started having kids. And so she asked me if I would do one. And I said, if it's important to her, I'll do it. But she's also well aware, and we've briefly talked about this. I don't know who my dad is. And I've never known, and I don't really care to know. And it's not like I'm anti-knowing, but I feel like knowing at this point might just complicate things, and I don't really care.
Yeah.
So we knew that going into it, and this is, I guess this is kind of a development now that I can tell you about. So whatever one we went through, I think it was Ancestry.com. I think so. They send you emails if there's a match or something like that. I get a lot that they say, we found, that doesn't give you names or anything, but you can log in and check it out if you want to. I get a lot of, we found a third or fourth cousin or a second or third cousin or whatever. But recently, I guess, I don't remember seeing the email, but she must have gotten it. I guess she found somebody that was, I want to say like a brother of a maternal grandfather. So she said now with more people that have been doing it, it wouldn't be that hard. Like apparently it would be super easy to find out who my dad is now. And so Becky brought it up when we were in the car one time, because I guess her mom didn't really feel comfortable telling me, but I think she feels like I give more of a shit than I actually do.
Yeah.
But it's just like, I just don't want to, like, out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah.
I don't care. I don't want to know. Obviously, he didn't want anything to do with me. He told my mom to get an abortion. She didn't. Here we are. You know what I mean?
Right.
And
hold on a second.
so it's like, wait, back up.
Whoa.
So she didn't.
Check the science on
Okay.
that.
It's a revenge story now.
Yeah. So, but it's just kind of funny that all of these conversations and stuff have unfolded just because she wanted to know the genealogy of her grandkids,
right,
and know where I was. So that's what, at the beginning, after I had sent it in, I know I'm all over the place here, but at the beginning, after I had sent it in, there was, they sent me a thing back that said, yeah, I'm basically 50% British.
Like, ooh.
And I'm from the UK in that area. And I'm like, what? I had no idea.
Nice.
But it is interesting, because I bet half of the emails that I get, the updates, are probably coming from this family, the side that I know nothing about.
Right.
But I never really find out anything, because it doesn't give me any names.
It's like, your wife's your fourth cousin. I'm like, shit.
I'm about to say, that could be a prince.
Yeah.
You don't know, with all the
That could be
the
it.
royal bloodline.
That's fair.
Oh,
That's fair.
great.
Although I'm
be
not
kind
sure
of
a
cool.
descendant of a prince or a king would be living in Iowa Falls, Iowa. Just throwing that out there.
Well,
This is going to be in our new Hallmark story.
I'm just
Right?
saying, Game of Thrones-esque, you could
Oh,
be
well, yeah.
Robert Baratheon ring a bell?
Could happen.
It does, actually. Yes. I don't know.
Anything's possible.
Maybe I need to start rethinking this
Or you
stuff.
can just say you're a prince and
so,
not have people think about it. Just like,
I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like we should start our own. The science is out there. So all of these ways to find out your ancestry or whatever is there. So, but we need to come up with one and we'll tell my story. But we're going to call the company "Who's Your Daddy?"
Yes.
Okay, I like it.
And that's specific. We won't give you any other information.
That's
it's
it?
just for people that want to know.
No questions asked.
Who their daddy
It's like,
is.
here you go.
Doesn't that check out?
That'd be great, wouldn't it?
Yeah. And then there would be extensions. You could visit our sister site, Who's Your Mommy?
Maury.
And Maury. Who's your Maury?
Right? You are not the
You are
father.
not the
Okay.
Those fucking shows.
I know.
my God.
Montel.
Are they still running these days?
I don't know. I haven't.
Yeah. I don't know with all the COVID stuff.
I
I mean, I know if
I haven't
they
been
got
sick from school in a while.
if they
so-
got Ellen back in the studio,
Woohoo.
there's that.
But like Jerry Springer's not on the air anymore.
They
which
still
is
show
like-
old episodes.
That's exactly right, because
Yeah.
they have so many. Because now it'd be like,
Well, and
you
that's
have
the
to
thing.
fight 6 feet
Well,
apart.
isn't he a judge now?
Is he?
Oh, wait.
It's possible.
I think he's a judge now.
Judge Springer.
Yeah, I think they got rid of the.
Hold on, Echo. What is Jerry Springer doing now?
Gerald Norman Springer is an English-born American television presenter, former politician, news presenter, actor, producer, musician, and former lawyer.
Yeah, he got caught in he was cheating on. Yeah, that was
he was a politician.
Yeah. He did that. Moment. He did that. Wasn't he like fucking mayor?
Yeah, he was
something?
mayor, and he got
that's right. I'm gonna be mayor.
That's right. Yeah, and then he got involved with he was cheating on his wife or something.
Okay, I guess I was like when you said mayor, I'm like, anybody could do
So
that.
I think he was.
A fucking dog did that in Minnesota.
Fair.
Yeah,
I don't know if you knew that story. There's a mayor that is a dog.
What was his name?
Minnesota. I don't know.
I want to look him up.
Oh boy. Okay.
There was a dog. In
Echo didn't actually answer the question.
Yeah,
but
no.
we tried.
Who knows what he's up to?
Yeah. But no, it was like 2 days ago, and I hadn't seen it in years, but I saw that there was a Jerry Springer episode on TV.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at it, and it's in HD, so I'm like, how old is it? Because I don't think that his skin on his face held up that much.
No. But, he said...
So I'm like, I think I'm watching something that's at least 5 years old. Here.
Yeah, Judge Jerry.
Judge Jerry.
Really?
Is
he doing a show?
Yeah, it's a show. It's like one of those.
Judy.
Jerry Springer's a judge.
You want to come back every episode, be our media liaison?
Yeah.
You did that very fast.
Hey, Jamie.
Hey, Jamie,
look that up.
She gets a notification.
Look that up.
Fine.
Yeah, Judge Jerry. It's a TV show. Earliest article 2019.
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
I
Wow,
assume it's got to be like the what's it called? Judge Judy, Judge Brown.
Yeah.
It's like one of those shows.
Oh, boy.
I assume. I'm not.
Apparently, my brother knew someone in high school.
Yeah.
That they were on one of those judge shows. So during biology, they wheel the TV out like, look who's on. Like, good grief. It's like, it's weird because I had a buddy of mine. Well, not a buddy, but I knew a guy that graduated a year ahead of me that was on Dr. Phil for dressing as a baby, and he would go about his life regular life, and then he would come home and he had onesies, he had a high chair, his girlfriend would change him and feed him.
You mean he had an enabler?
Wow.
Yeah,
he had an enabler.
So I'm sitting there at work, and I actually the person I was working with at the time, I actually graduated high school, and she's pointing at we went to high. I'm like, what? I gotta go.
What?
Click. What the fuck? Yeah, and so social media blew up. It's so weird in those moments because social media in your little bubble of Ames is blowing the fuck up, you know? And it's just like, whoa. And then all of a sudden I'm seeing stuff on Facebook of that moment when someone you went to high school with is on Dr. Phil. I'm just like, what the hell? It's like,
I don't know how much time we got left.
We got all
the time you want, buddy.
Okay, I'll tell
it's Christmas vacay, bud.
I'll tell this story. I might have told it on stage. I don't know if you were maybe there for that, but
it's possible.
Do you remember Carson King?
Yeah.
Okay, so I went to college with him and everything. Didn't really know the guy. I just knew that he went to Iowa State.
So to recap, Carson King is the dude that held up the Busch Light sign.
Venmo.
Need more Busch Light. It had his Venmo.
Yeah.
And it just kind of fucking exploded. And everybody sent this dude money. And it ended up being a ridiculous amount that he ended up getting because he kind of went viral, so to speak. And he ended up donating all of it, wasn't it, to the Children's Hospital
Children's Hospital in Iowa City.
Yeah.
For an Iowa State fan, that's pretty cool.
And everything was
more actually.
Probably.
everything was all on the up and up until the Des Moines Register dug up an old tweet or something like that. But then
it split RAGBRAI.
Yeah, well, there's that, but then it, everybody went after the person at the Des Moines Register.
Yeah, not him.
And a lot of people started getting rid of their Des Moines Register subscriptions, and they put out an apology, and it was very forced. The whole thing, such and such Carson King did the person who said this back in 20 what the fuck, who cares?
So he comes out and is like, yeah, I was dumb. I was 16.
Yeah.
All right.
So anyway, everybody's all caught up.
By the way, can I get some
absolutely.
Refill?
Absolutely, sir. Yeah. You keep telling your story.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I God, where are we? Oh yeah, so now everybody knows the Carson King story, and saw all this kind of starting to unravel and everything in the midst. I'm like, oh man, who would do that to some guy like that? Just doing a nice thing and everything. And then I look at who the editor was. I know him.
Oh my God.
We went to high school. We hung out. Yeah. Yeah. I knew the guy.
Adds another layer of like, fuck you.
Well, I mean,
I don't know, but I don't want to be.
It was kind of weird because, like, in the moment, I was like, man, like, hey, screw this guy, whoever wrote this story.
And you're like, oh.
Yeah. And then I figure out who it was, and I was like, no way.
Oh boy,
I've got pictures of us hanging out and everything like that. So, I think it was an open mic because I was preparing to tell this joke. Just as like, this is gonna be my 5 minutes explaining my stardom. I guess I should have started off with this story instead of Sean Johnson.
Hey, that's fine. We're there. We're cool. Yeah.
No, and oh God, now I'm drawing a blank. His name was Aaron. What was his name? It was Aaron. Why can I not remember the guy's name? My friend's name that I know.
It's not that great of a friend.
Yeah, but Aaron. We the last time we had hung out was right before I joined the Army. And everything, because we were in high school together. He was a grade above me. I was a grade below him. I was really good best friends with his cousin, who also went to the school with us and everything.
Gotcha.
I guess I won't name drop all these other people and everything.
And then there's George, and there's
besides Aaron, who wrote the article. And so I leave for the Army. Everything happens, and then I am now back from the Army. I've got a apartment. Thank you very much. No problem. I've got an apartment, duplex. I've got a duplex over in Urbandale.
Gotcha.
And my buddy calls me up and he's like, hey, I'm back from, I can't remember what state he was in. I'm like, hey, I'm back from this state. I'm living in Iowa now. I'm having a housewarming party. Do you want to come on over?
All right.
And I was like, oh yeah, man, where's your house at? And he told me literally 3 blocks away from where I was living, over in Beaverdale. It was over in Beaverdale. And so I'm like, oh, I'll be there. I'll be there tonight. You know what I mean? So my girlfriend at the time, I go there and I walk into the party, meeting and greeting with people. And who do I run into? But I run into Aaron. And I go, oh my God, dude. And this is before everything like blew up and everything.
Oh my God.
This was maybe like 2 or 3 years before everything just kind of blew up in his face. Oh. And we're hanging out at the party. And I go, oh my gosh, hey, Aaron, how have you been? I haven't seen you in ages. Yeah. He goes, oh, everything's going good. Just got a job at the Des Moines Register. And I'm like, oh my God, dude, that's awesome.
You're making it, man.
Yeah, I was just like
print media, great.
Oh God, I'm butchering the joke that I say. I go I'm like, awesome, dude, don't screw it up. I think it was like along the lines that was the punchline, like, don't screw it up.
Oh my God.
So I missed it, but that was the dude that printed. Oh wow.
He's like, ooh.
Yeah.
Man.
So yeah, then when all that came out and everything, I got to see both sides of the argument.
Yeah.
So I got to see everybody that was against him and for Carson, and then I got to see everybody that was against Carson and for Aaron.
Yeah.
And everything, and I'm just in the middle of it all. Just like, this is awesome. I get to see everything. And
that's a unique situation.
But it really it's and I mean, as far as around here in Iowa, that was like the peak of the gotcha.
Yeah.
Culture. And it finally got here. So somebody in our media here, Aaron, ended up doing that same thing. Like, okay, so here's this dude. Let me do my job and see what I can dig up on this dude. I mean, maybe he did some shady shit, whatever. But why? I mean, at what point do you step back and say, what am I doing this for?
Right. Instead of like, just keep the story going of like,
what were you hearing? Did he ever say anything besides what he said publicly?
Man, this is a juicy story for you guys.
I'm just curious.
There's not much that goes on.
It's just local.
Yeah. It was just really cool. Like you said, like to see both sides of the argument going on. So what my friends that were vouching for Aaron.
Yeah.
It was more along the lines of like, he's doing his job. He's doing investigative journalism. I don't know if I'd call that investigative journalism, but if you want to lump it all together, that's what it was. It was just investigative journalism. He was going in, cancel culture's at, hiatus and everything. So you're just trying to, I mean, I don't know. My print media is kind of going away, but you can read the Des Moines Register online. So I'm not really 100% sure on, what the ulterior motive is. But I mean, at the time, finding something like that, that's a juicy story. That'll get some people.
For sure.
Of course, like a name like that, you've got, donating to a charity. I don't know what went through Aaron's mind to go through that, but it was pretty much like, hey, he was just doing his job. Can't knock somebody for doing their job.
Yeah.
And then now it just gets into the moral debate of, like, well, was it right that Carson, posted this tweet so many years ago, which was a Tosh.0?
It was exactly.
Yeah, so you guys can appreciate that.
Absolutely.
So it was just a Tosh.0 quote, and it was from a different time, mind you. That so that happened, and then when they did the flip on Aaron, and then they dug up his past. And his tweets were way worse.
Yeah.
If you're trying to compare apples to apples at that point.
Well, and here's the thing. At a certain point when you're writing this story, do you think about your own Twitter?
Right? And
Well, I mean...
that's pretty high profile, I guess.
When you're going after someone like that, if you're going after, like Carson...
And everybody's currently in love with him for what he's done and who he is. Yeah. So then you think to yourself... Do I have a Twitter?
Right? I don't know. It's just, the thought process is there.
I have a Twitter, but I haven't used it in ages. I really don't get on social media because of these kind of things.
Yeah. No, it makes perfect sense. Stupid. Yeah.
Yeah. It's nuts.
I agree.
To see that.
Yeah.
Like, wow. Yeah.
I have an idea. We've been going for a while, so we're actually gonna make this an episode.
Okay.
But we can stick around and crack wise and do some more and maybe turn it into like a bonus thing or something like that. Boners?
But what?
What? Don't worry about it.
Three dudes in a room.
So yeah, are you cool sticking around?
Yeah,
Rock on.
Yeah, we got the Green Bay Packers game.
That's right.
When's that?
7-ish. No.
7:20, 7:15 usually. It's
You're good. You're
it's
on
the
it.
Sunday night game.
Yeah.
Dig.
Well, yeah, I've got my fantasy football going here. This is a big night.
This is important.
No, it's still in my favor right now.
I'm a casual fan. I mean, like, I like the Packers.
He keeps it cash.
Like, I don't even know who we're playing. I just like watching.
Okay,
Packers.
you got Tennessee tonight.
Okay,
so.
okay.
But to wrap up this episode, we want to thank you, Shane.
Thank you so much
for coming.
for having me.
Always
it's been
fun.
fantastic.
Yeah.
And you're here in person.
I know.
We can if
No,
we
no.
weren't so
I
far
love
away,
the
we
setup.
could
Love
touch
the
you.
setup.
Thanks,
Boom,
man.
You look like a hipster, man.
Now, wait, just real quick, based on what you saw from our Zoom or what you've seen online, what was your impression of this room seeing it in person? What do you think?
I mean, I like it. It's really nice.
Thank you.
It's really nicely done. I like all because I love Star Wars, so I
Oh,
like
nice.
the homage to Star
Oh, that's
Wars.
right. We didn't even talk about Star Wars. We didn't talk about Mandalorian or anything.
Well, maybe that could be the bonus
next episode. There we go.
Or the next episode.
I like it. Anyway, thank you everyone
Thank you.
for listening. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and thank you again to Shane, and thank you to Joe, and thank you to me. And
bet.
I've never thanked myself before,
There you go.
but it felt right. We'll talk to you soon.
We'll see you.
All right, bye bye.